Back in the beginning of March, I made a quality of life wish list. So in this video, I want to find out if I can manage to get a bingo on my quality of life bingo board. So let's get into the video and find out. So in that video, I listed 18 quality of life topics. And that means if I want to make a bingo board, the closest I can get is a 4x4 grid. That means that I need to eliminate 2 of the 18 topics I have on my list. And to make it more interesting, I'm going to make these eliminations random. Here I have a random wheel that I'm going to use. So let's spin it and see what happens. We are landing on Archive of Melodies. Alright, we'll spin it again. Tuning and leveling echoes. Alright, there we go. We have the 2 that's not going to be part of the bingo board. Alright, I did not really like this wheel. Let's try this one. So now we're going to spin for the different grids. Alright, let's see what goes in the first spot. Fishing! Okay, and we're gonna remove fishing. Basically, fishing was about that I wanted it to be moved into a permanent event. Next. Flight. So for the flight, it is that I wish it will be available for Huanglong and not only Ringesita. Next. Dialogue text. For the dialogue text, I brought up that it contained bugs. Number 4. Weapon level up material. When leveling up weapons, I want to be able to fast select by dragging across the items I want to use for level up materials instead of clicking manually one item at a time. Next. Custom marker text. When you are in the map, you can put symbols on the map, but it would be nice if I also could make a little custom text to explain why I put that on the map. Something like that. Holograms. It's basically that I wish to remove the annoyance of having to fill up my ultimate outside of the hologram if I want to have it full when I come back to redo the hologram. Data merging. Well, data merging was similar to weapon level material, that it would be easier to manually mass select specific echoes that I want to use for data merging, instead of having to manually click through those in order to get them selected. Co-op mode. So the co-op mode is simply about having co-op mode for weekly bosses. Elusive Realm. This particular wish was about having the original Elusive Realm, not the weekly version that we have now, but the longer version that right now it just comes and goes and you never know when it comes back. Male characters. I would wish that there would be more male characters in the game, but this is most likely not going to happen just in one patch. It's going to be on the board anyways, since I brought it up in my quality of life wish list and it was never eliminated when I did the first wheel. Story bosses. For story bosses, I wish they could have added a toggle button or something where you could choose to make the story boss easier. So basically eliminate some of the frustration having to get defeated by a story boss. Next, puzzle modes. Basically, I think there is a way to lower the difficulty, but I wish that the puzzles could be a little more difficult. That there was like a toggle button where you could choose to go between easy mode or more difficult mode. Acclaim all button. Basically, that's just about having some way to claim multiple claim buttons in one go, instead of having to click through each claim button one at a time when you have multiple claim buttons in a view. Overworld bosses. So for overworld bosses, there's a 2-minute cooldown before you can fight them again. And in my wish list, I was hoping that they could lower that cooldown. Alright, we have 2 more left. Which one is going to be? A continue button. And basically, when you have a black background with white text, sometimes it's not possible to finish reading the text before it moves on to something else. So it would be nice if there was a continue button so I could myself decide when I finished reading and be able to continue from there. And then we have immersive mode. I had trouble finding a way to toggle between immersive mode and the normal mode. I had to always go via the menu. I was hoping there was some kind of key binding for that. So that's it. Now let's see if anything of these are brought up in live stream. And I will also test things out, because sometimes not everything is mentioned in the live stream and it's just added in the game without even giving a mention. So I'm going to check this out now. As for the fishing event, it has been moved into the permanent event. So I think that will qualify. Flight, nope, they haven't added any flight, so that's a no-no. Dialogue text. Well, I haven't noticed any of those bugs that I saw in my quality of life wish list, so I guess I can mark that one on the board as well. Well, you still have to manually click on each level up material, so that's not a thing. For the custom marker text, well, they haven't added that, so that's out. Holograms. Well, they have added so all characters start with their alts up whenever you restart the hologram. The concert energy is also up whenever you restart. So that's even a bonus. Awesome. Data merging. Well, that had the same thing as the weapon level up material. You manually have to click through the echoes you want to choose, unless you choose to hit the button that selects all. Co-op mode. Well, there's no co-op mode for the weekly boss, so that's out. Elusive round. They did mention that they were going to bring back the elusive round, so I can check that off on the board. Well, male characters, of course, I would wish that there would be more in the game, but at least Gian and Brandt and Zhang Liao are on the anniversary banner, so that's a nice thing. For story bosses, well, they didn't add any kind of toggle button or something, but I did notice when I only had 1 HP left, I remained there until a cutscene came. So it feels like it was scripted that I couldn't die until the intended cutscene would come. I don't know the last phase though, because I beat the boss before I died, so I don't know if there's any scripted in there for the last phase. But anyways, it still kind of does what I want. I won't have to be frustrated that I get defeated by the boss while doing the story. So I'm going to tick this off. Puzzle modes. Well, they still have the do you want to lower the difficulty when you come across a difficult puzzle. And they were kind of complicated, so they do have some difficult puzzles. It would have been nice though if there was a toggle button, so I could either say I always want to have an easy mode or I always want to have a difficult mode. And if I suddenly change my mind, I can go back to easy mode. So for the puzzle mode, it's actually no change because the option to lower the difficulty already existed. Next is the claim all button. There's not exactly a claim all, but the results are the same. For the new cube event, when you get a lot of rewards and they are listed and you have all these claim buttons, when you claim one, everything else is claimed. I think it's also in Tower of Adversity as well. And then we have the overworld bosses. They not only lowered the cooldown, they actually removed it, so that's awesome. Continue button. Well, in the story, that I've done so far. I've done the event story parts, and I actually did Sunny's companion quest. And there were several places where there was black screen with white text, and I wasn't able to finish reading the text before it moved on to the next thing. So that's a minus. And then finally we have the immersive mode. If you hold the Alt key and press the C, then you can toggle between immersive mode and normal mode. And you can even do it in battle, so that's super cool. So yeah, that is definitely something I can tick off on the board. So all in all, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 things from my quality of life wish list. That's super cool. And I didn't get a bingo though. I was very close. If that continue button had been switched with story bosses, I would have gotten a bingo as well. But I didn't get it, so... Well, some final thoughts. I think it's really, really nice that in every patch we have gotten some kind of quality of life update. And we don't just get one, we get several. And what's even better, the things that are added is actually quality of life that players are asking for. That's why I also enjoy playing this game. It's very motivating to play a game that actively is evolving and actively is listening to the player base. Well, anyways, that's it for me this time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.